Good morning, friends. Today is Friday, May 16th. So I wanted to talk to you today about role reversal. So some of us, we have parents who are getting older, and I want to ask, did you ever think about the time when your parents would be aging and getting older? It almost feels like, to some degree, your roles are reversing. Your parents may have been larger than life when you were growing up. Mom always cooking and taking everybody to all their after school activities, dad always working hard and then coming home, maybe cooking on the grill on weekends or doing yard work. But now that they're getting older, they look different to you. They look smaller, they look frail, they seem a little weaker. And so at that point, it may have occurred to you, hey, my parents are aging, they're getting older, and now for Thanksgiving, maybe I need to make the turkey. For Christmas, maybe I need to come over to their house and help put up the Christmas tree or the Christmas lights. Certain age, mom and dad don't need to be getting on a ladder hanging Christmas lights anymore. So my question for you is, my thought for you today is to think about, when did you realize that the roles of you and your parents had reversed? That it was time for you to start checking in on them and trying to see how they're doing and if they need help. Because as our parents age and as they get older, they may want to stay in their own home. You may live in another town or another state. If you're lucky, you live close by, but how often are you able to go over there? Sometimes our parents, when they hit their late 60s, 70s, they may need someone to cook for them. They may need Meals on Wheels. They may need a home health nurse to come and give them their medication. They may need a social worker to come through home health and check on them and make sure they're okay. They're not anxious about aging, dying, long-term illnesses, the loss of a spouse, grieving. Or God forbid, the loss of a child. So I want you to think about those things. When did that occur to you that, hey, my parents are aging, and what can I do about it? There are different resources for you that you can find that have elder care resources. Sometimes we have to consider our parents going to a nursing home, which is quite expensive. So you really need to kind of be in your parents' business to know if they have Medicare and Medicaid, or just Medicare if they have other insurance. You want to kind of know what's happening with my family member, and how am I going to be more directly involved. If there are multiple siblings, you have sisters and brothers, maybe you all can split some of those responsibilities and have one spokesperson who is going to be mom or dad's guardian, who's the executor of their estate. What kind of life insurance do they have? Is it a term policy? Is it a whole life policy? Do they have accidental and dismemberment insurance, which does not cover just death by natural causes? These are important things, because sometimes family members were sold certain insurance policies that don't cover death by natural causes. Sometimes they get it through their bank or their credit union, and they're like these little inexpensive policies that might be like $20 a month. And then you find out when you read the fine print that this is only for accidental death, like somebody dies through a car accident or something, not through a long illness like cancer or Parkinson's or Alzheimer's or whatever. So you kind of want to start getting in your parents' business so that you understand that, because this can be quite overwhelming when a person has a medical crisis or they end up in a coma, and then all the family members have to try to come together and decide what they think is best. And sometimes it causes a lot of conflict because people are under stress, and sometimes they live in other states. So I want you to think about that, especially if the person has some type of mental health condition or a long-term illness. We really need to be checking in on our family members. So thoughts to ponder today is role reversal. When should I start being more directly involved in the care of my parents or my mother or father figure? It could be a great aunt or a grandparent. I want you to start planning for that, because trying to do things at the last minute with this is quite stressful. It's stressful enough even when you plan. So keep those things in mind. Just thoughts to ponder today from Miss Katina. Have a wonderful day.